to the girls at North Miami where it all goes down. Heard it no pity where you at, and your dad don't know it so well.
What's going on, peoples? Urban Gun Reviews, and today on the channel I just wanted to talk about a shooting that happened, I think it was a few weeks ago, something like that, and it was the shooting at a church in Texas. Now, I'm going to read you a little article, and then I'm just going to give you my thoughts and stuff like that about it. So, it says Texas, now this is from BBC News, and it says Texas church shooting gunman killed by churchgoer. All right. Now it says a gunman who opened fire in a church in Texas, fatally shooting 2 people before being killed by an armed member of the congregation, has been named. And I'm not going to say his name because it's not really important. If you really want to know, you can look it up yourself. But it said he stood up in the West Freeman Church of Christ in White Settlement on Sunday and started shooting before he was shot himself. Said a motive has not been established. Meanwhile, the man who killed the gunman has spoken out about the incident, saying he does not consider himself a hero. Jack Wilson, a volunteer member of the church's security team, said he fired a single shot to take down the gunman during the service, which was attended by 240 people while being live streamed on social media. I had people in front of me. I had to wait until they got out of my line of fire because I didn't want to hit any of them. At that point, the shooter, I guess, caught out of the corner of his eye. He was walking towards the front of the church. He then kind of halfway turned toward me, and then that's when I took the shot. This is the guy the churchgoer who shot him. And it says, local TV station reported that the gunman had a criminal record, including charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon in 2009. Texas attorney, blah, blah, blah. The gunman had attended the church several times in the past and may have been mentally ill or other motives. They're still being explored. It says they welcome people who are transient or homeless into their church. They welcome this guy into their church. The attorney encouraged other states to allow citizens to carry weapons for self-defense. This is the model for the future, he added. In September, a new law came into effect in Texas that allowed licensed handgun owners to carry weapons in places of worship. In 2017, 26 people were killed by a gunman who opened fire in a Baptist church in Sutherland Springs, Texas, during Sunday service. There was 2 victims that were killed on this day. It was a Saturday, and they were identified as Anton Wallace, that was 64 years old, and Richard White, that was 67 years old. So first off, before we get into this, I wanted to give my condolences to the 2 gentlemen that lost their lives. I wanted to say condolences to your family, and I know nothing will be able to ease your pain or anything like that. But I just wanted to offer that to you. And let's get into the topic. I think that more and more churches should adapt this philosophy. And, you get those, I'm not going to call them names. You get those people who say, well, if you believe in God, why you need a gun? Won't your God protect you? Won't he protect you in case one of these and something like this happens? And, I'm not going to justify any of that because that's unimportant. The fact of the matter is a lot of churches need to adapt this type of philosophy because the bottom line is that there's crazy people out there who want to do nothing but kill, maim, and destroy and hurt people and stuff like that. And they don't care who it is. And a lot of times they purposely target these places because they believe and they know that a lot of people in churches are not carrying guns. Either you're not allowed or, it's just not a place where you would think most people would carry. And so that's why a lot of these places are targeted. Now you notice gunmen who do stuff like this, they never target an NRA rally. They never target a place where firearms are going to be heavily available. They target places where they believe people are vulnerable and people are weak and people are not going to be able to meet them with the same force that they're trying to meet you with. And that's why they target churches. I had a conversation with my pastor last year because we had an incident where we thought something might happen. And it was because of a domestic situation between another churchgoer and her husband or ex-husband or something like that. And, there was said that her husband or whoever might come back, and he carries guns and he might do something, crazy. So, my pastor came to me and asked me if I was carrying my gun. And I said, yes. Well, I didn't have it on me, but it was in the car. And he said, I need you to go get it and just kind of be on alert in case anything goes down, you can be here. And so I went and got it. And from that day on, I had the thumbs up to carry my gun in church. And, it's sad to say, but it's a necessity because these things happen way too many times. It happens all the time where a gunman just goes in and shoots people because they target, like I said, they target these places because they don't believe that churchgoers are going to be, having firearms. So they're going to target that place because it's an easy target. And I just say that if you're worried about your church patrons or your church goers, being wild, wild west or, just having guns and stuff like that, then you need to implement a security plan or security team, whether it's one guy, whether it's two people, whether it's three people. You got to have that. You need that in plan. You need that plan in place because in case of an incident, you need to have an evacuation plan. You need to have somebody who's an armed person in there to try to counteract, this act of terrorism. And that's what it is. It's terrorism. And it would drastically cut down, I believe, in my opinion, it would drastically cut down a lot of these situations because it would make that person who they say is mentally ill. And the reason why I say they think because when you sit in a church service and you worship with people and then you just pull out a firearm or start shooting, it's pre-planned. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a spur of the moment thing. Like you just went to the church and started spraying. No, you sat down, you had a conversation, you probably met some people, shook some hands, probably prayed with people, and then you just start shooting those same people. This is planned. You know what I mean? So in order to execute a plan, I'm just saying I don't think crazy people execute plans too well. So, and I don't think crazy people really make plans because the point that they're crazy is because they do crazy things. And yes, this is a crazy thing, but still to execute a plan, to put a plan in play, you got to have some type of level of acknowledgement and of some type of, you can't just be crazy and put this type of plan together. That's my thoughts. You could disagree or agree, it's up to you. But I just think that a lot of churches need to implement a plan, be ready for this type of situation. You need to have, if not, just a conversation once a month, once every service, after service. You have a conversation with somebody or everybody, the congregation, and you say, hey, if this happens, we need to go out this way. If this happens, we need to do this, we need to do that. You know what I mean? And because in the moment, it's going to be chaotic, but at least if you have half of your church who remembered, hey, he said do this, he said do that, let's do this, it might drastically reduce the number of injuries or fatalities that you have by just doing simple things like that. So I would definitely recommend that you have some type of security team or security person. I would definitely recommend that you have some type of plan in case something like this happens. But it's just a lot of crazy stuff going happen. It's a lot of crazy stuff happening, and not being prepared is not an option. Not being prepared is not an excuse. we should all be prepared for situations like this or any other type of, disaster that might happen or anything. We need to be prepared. And like I said, if you're a gun owner and you carry, and you go to church and you're not sure how your pastor feels about it, talk to him or her. Talk to that person in charge to see if they will mind if you carried your gun. If you're going to carry it, just carry it anyway. You ain't even got to tell nobody. You ain't even got to tell nobody. Just carry your gun and there you go. But you should definitely have a conversation with somebody in charge so y'all can start working on plans to put in action in case something happens. But this is just my opinions. I wanted to bring up this story because I thought that it brought a positive light to the gun community where there's a lot of negativity, a lot of gray area, a lot of people who still don't believe that people should carry guns and don't believe that people should have guns in church and wherever else. But, when the crap hits the fan and, you have a shooting going on, you definitely want somebody who's armed and ready to defend himself and the people around him, because he's ready and ready to, jump into action if need be. So I just wanted to bring attention to that. I thought it was awesome. Shout out to the gentleman who was part of the security team and was able to put down the shooter and able to save probably a lot more lives. And thank God that there wasn't a lot more fatalities and injuries and stuff like that. But it's Urban Gun Reviews. If this video helped you in any type of way, let me know by clicking the thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you can do that by clicking on the AR in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. If you want to be notified whenever I upload a new video, then hit the bell notifications. If you're not, follow me on gunstreamer.com. The link is in the description for that. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay blessed. Stay strapped.
City girls at North Miami with all those down. Heard it no pity where you at and your dad don't know. So well lost and found. She don't want love. She don't love no one but herself. All she really cares about is a lace front weaving, bow teeth from Chanel. What about love?